So welcome again to Simply Ethics classes. Now we are proceeding to the parenting style. This is the 7th lecture. We have already covered 6th lecture. So you can see that in the index, whatever the syllabus is covered already. So this is the index. So we are now at the 7th lecture. So I'll keep updating. What we are doing the unit 1 of the syllabus of GS4. So you can track your coverage of the syllabus as well based on the UPSC notification, whatever the pointers are given. Okay, so let's start. What is the role of parenting? In previous lecture we have seen how family affects the value, like imparting of the values. So now we'll see how mother and father in the socialization process play different roles. So these are the basic things which I think no need to go in detail, like how the health of the that infant is taken care. But I am repeating this again and again. What is the socialization process? The socialization process is when an infant from being a non-social member of the society becomes an adult who is a social member of the society, because it grows and develop biologically and psychologically. So that is the process of socialization. In socialization, many different agents we have discussed in the previous videos. So one of the agent is the family, and in family there are various members, but the very first who will be interacting with that infant are mother and father. So what is the role of the mother? Even before father, mother will be having the child will be having proximity of the mother all the times in initial 1 or 2 years. Still it depends on the role of the mother, as because if she is a working lady, she will not be able to give that much time, and if she is a housewife, she will be giving a lot of time to the newborn child. Okay, so what is the role of the mother? Mother will be taking care of the health of that child in terms of nutrition, feeding, etc. So all these will be the role of the mother. Then it will come to the emotions, how mother regulates the emotions of the child. Mother will be teaching different things to that child, how to respect the elders, how to handle the difficult situations, how to make friends, or how to behave in good way, how to be with the teachers or the child's classmates. So all these things will be teaching. All these teachings will be done by the mother, and it depends on the education status of the mother as well. The education part is very important. Even the government, when making the policy related to family planning, the government is making too much emphasis on educating the young mothers or unmarried girls, because educated mothers not always will take care of the child in a better manner, because they will be knowing many things in proper ways. So how an educated mother will be knowing that there shall be a gap in the pregnancy as well. So all these factors will be considered. And the initial education is very important part of the mother and father. Initial education, even if you consider this period of the lockdown of almost 2 years and schools are closed. So those children who were just born 2 to 3 to 4 years ago, they would have entered into the school in lockdown 1. in 2020. Okay, but because of the lockdown they are not able to go to school, so it is almost more than 1.5 years they are not able to get the education. So it depends on the educational status of the educational status of the mother, like how she will teach or how she will manage to give initial education to to her children or to her child. And many families have done this, and but if mother is not educated, she will not be able to give basic education, which we know, like if she's teaching counting, alphabets, mother tongue, etc., all these things she will be able to, she will not be able to teach if she is not educated. But if she is educated, she will be easily teaching these things to her child. So that is the role of education. Okay, so what is the role of gender appropriate, how these mother and father will teach their children gender appropriate behavior? Whenever the mother and father will tell how to behave with girls and how to behave with boys, but still this will also have negative aspects, as we have seen. Because of our patriarchal society, we often tend to impart partial values on our children, the younger ones. Like we compare girls with boys, we say like girls should not go outside but boys can go outside. So all these things, girls should focus on household chores and boys should seek for the career. Though these things are changing with time, but still on a large scale these still prevails in our society. So that is the issue with the negative part of the family system, we can say, because of the patriarchal mindset. Okay, so again, the gender appropriate behavior we have seen, like how boys and girls should treat each other. Innovation and innovative or traditional conformity, this is a very interesting point, like how it depends in the family. If these are parents and these are their kids, what they will do, there are different types of parenting styles. So based on these parenting styles, you will see in some families parents will be seeking conformity to the family rules, family norms, or even they will be asking their children to follow the family profession as well. Okay, so they will be imposing their decision. So this is very much like we have seen how parents force their parents to study particular streams. Like some will ask, okay, you should only pursue engineering. Others will say, okay, no, you should follow the non-medical or medical background medical education, you should try to pursue medical education. So all these things will be done based on the will of the parents. They may not consider the kids interest in particular subject, and they will impose their will. So that is the issue of the traditional. If they are asking, they are seeking for the conformity will means the kids will be following the parents' will. But if the parents are democratic, they will ask their children, like whatever the subjects they like or whatever the career they want to pursue, and they will ask them to follow that their interest. So that is the role of parents. So manners is obvious, we know. How culture and religion is very much obvious, how families will be imparting the knowledge of culture, religion. It depends on the family, how religious is family is. So they will be telling all these religious things, religious festivals, worship, etc., temple, mosque or gurudwara. So it depends on the particular religion how they will be going to different institutions. Okay, so that is the role of mother and father. So the another important part of mother tongue, the family and the parents will be actively teaching their children their mother tongue. But this is a very important issue in current society, that we are almost neglecting our mother language, mother tongues. In almost every society, the more emphasis on English education, westernization. Because of westernization, the families are too much attracted towards the English. So if you see it depends. If you are in a Hindi belt, you will be seeing, okay, many children they are speaking Hindi. But if you go to the regional belts, the regional languages are declining. Even if you go to Punjab or Rajasthan or in other states where the regional languages which are not different from Hindi or other languages, you will see, because of the English education, the children do not know their mother tongue very well. So this is a very crucial part of the family. So to preserve these languages, we should, these families should not give undue weightage to the English language. So that is the role of the mother and father, how they keep their culture and mother tongue alive. Okay, initial education we have already discussed, how father and mother, but it still depends on the education status of their parents. Like if father and mother are educated, they may give initial education to their child, and it depends on the interest of their parents on children's parent. Okay, so decision making, rationality, all these things will be taught during day-to-day discussions. They will tell you about the difference between how to decide between good things and bad things, what is wrong and right. All these things will be done during normal casual day-to-day conversations. When you are conversating with the parents, the mothers will be telling you what is the right and what is the wrong, or all these things will be done. Then they will tell you about the success, failure, stress management. What is the success? If you get good marks, they will praise you. If you get low marks, they may say, okay, you should work hard. All these things. But what I am telling is, all these things are respective to the value system of the parents as well. Every parent may not follow all these things, decision making, rationality. Some parents will be not involving with their children. So that is the role of parenting style, which we will be seeing in next couple of slides. Okay, the another very important aspects of the socialization is the sexual education. How parents or mothers openly discuss with their children about the sexual education. So the girls will be having menarche when their periods will start. So how mother teaches that girl how to handle all these situations, and other than that, adulthood, friendship or relationship, all these things, if it depends on the family as well. In few families they'll be talking openly to their children, and in few they will be ignoring all these subjects, because of there is a particular, we can say, they consider all these things should not be discussed properly openly. So that depends on the type of the family, or the basic, what kind of values that families or the parents carry with them. So it depends on that. Okay, so we'll see now what are the parenting styles. So there are 4 major parenting styles. Based on these parenting styles, the different nature of the parents is determined. So these are the authoritarian and disciplinarian. Okay, another one is permissive or indulgent. Third one is uninvolved, and fourth one is authoritative. So these authoritative and authoritarian, these are, don't confuse as the words look similar. These are different. We will discuss. So how these parenting styles are determined, what are the characteristics of these parenting styles, we'll see how these parenting styles are, what are the things considered considered while taking while discussing these parenting styles. The two things which are discussed, one is responsiveness and another is demanding, whether parent is demanding or, see, one is responsiveness and another is demanding. So responsiveness is means how responsive parents are towards their children, and another is how demanding the parents are towards their children. Based on these two things, there will be classified the parenting styles in 4 parts. Okay, we'll see the authoritarian parents. Who are the authoritarian parents? Who are the authoritarian parents? Authoritarian parents are disciplinarian. They are very strict. They are very strict with their children. Okay, so authoritarian parents are often thought of as disciplinarian. They will be talking about discipline all the times. Okay, so they use a strict discipline style with little negotiation possible. So they will be giving very little flexibility to their children. So everything will be determined by their parents. Parents will determine when to sleep, when to study, when to play, to whom they can talk, where they can go. All these things, every activity will be determined by these parents, and there will be little freedom for their children. So punishment will be very common. They will be punishing even if the child skips one day, skips the study for one day. So this child will be punished for that mistake. So these are the authoritarian parents. So you can see this with this pic, like how they will be scolding for every mistake. So that is the issue with the authoritarian parent. What are the authoritarian parents? They'll see this thing. Now we'll see which quadrant they will fall. This is the non-responsive but highly demanding. This is the authoritarian parent. They are demanding very high. Their expectations are very high, but their expectations are high expectations, but very low responsiveness. They will be expecting good marks in the examination, okay, good performance in the sports as well, discipline, okay, early to bed, early to rise. They'll be asking for their children. So they will be expecting all these things. So but in simple way, they will be asking that their child should be perfect in everything, and if the child deviates a little bit from that perfection, they will get upset with that deviation, and they will start punishing that child. And they are low responsive. Okay, what is the issue with the responsiveness? Responsiveness means how you respond to the needs of the child. Whether your child is able to do that much hard work or to follow that much discipline or not, they will not consider. They will not respond to the needs of the child or ability of the child. They will be just imposing what they are expecting from that child, and the child at any cost will have to do that thing. So these are the authoritarian parenting style. So communication is almost one way from parent to child. Rules usually are not explained. They will just be like they will not listen to their child. They will be commanding their child. That is the authoritarian parenting style. Parents with these styles are typically less nurturing. What is the nurturing? Excuse me. The nurturing is like you are developing the character of that child, particular personality of that child. If you know that child is interested in a particular sport or subject, you will be supporting that child to pursue that subject. That is the nurturing. Nurturing means to allow the child to follow his or her own nature. That is the nurturing, and you facilitate in that process when child is following his her own nature. But the authoritarian parents are not nurturing, they are commanding the child, and they are just imposing their wills on their children. That is the characteristic of the authoritarian parenting style. Expectations are high with limited flexibility. See, even if the parent says you should get 90% in the particular class A, or if you consider he is in 8th standard and he should get 90%, otherwise they will not be happy. And now if the child gets 89% or 88%, the parents will be very much upset. And this is not a hypothetical situation. This has been noticed in schools very often. Even if children, if the student is performing 85% or 88%, the parents will say, we expected 90%. How come he can score the 88%? Even for 1%, they are so much upset that child will be not able to withstand that pressure. So very often we see suicide done by young children for failing in the examination or for getting lower marks. So that is the issue with the authoritarian parenting. These are the consequences. What are the consequences? When you see the consequences of the authoritarian parenting style, the children will not be able to develop fully to their potential. Say if that particular child is good in a particular sport or singing or dancing, but the parents are interested only making him a doctor, so what that particular child will not be able to follow his own interest, and he will have to study hard to become a doctor. And though he may become a doctor, but he will not be happy with that, because he likes singing or he likes dancing or he likes sports, but now he has to follow the will of the parents. So that is the consequence of the authoritarian parenting style. The child will not be able to say what if he is under pressure, or the very good example of this, blue whale game. Many children who suicided for because of the influence of the blue whale game, because they shared the sensitive information with that particular through that particular game to whoever was the host of that game. Now what that host was doing, he started blackmailing, or she started blackmailing that particular child. Now after doing this mistake, what they do, they cannot share with their parents, because they have done this mistake, and now they don't have the courage to talk to their parents. So this host, what they did, they instigated these children to commit suicide, and they committed suicide because of this fear that they cannot go to their parents and share their mistakes. So that is the issue with the authoritarian parenting style. Okay, so we'll see now what is the authoritative parenting style. Authoritative is different from authoritarian. Authoritative parents are responsible, reasonable and nurturing, and set high, clear expectation. So the characteristics of the authoritative parenting is that they are responsive as well as high demanding. So their demands will be high. They will be talking about the discipline, the expectations of good performance in the marks, all these things they will be asking from their child, but they are equally responsive as well. So they are responsive to the needs of their children. So children with parents who demonstrate this style tend to be self-disciplined and think for themselves. So what these parents do, these parents often nurture though they will be imposing their will, but still they will consider the will of that child as well. Okay, so these children will be nurtured in such a way that they will themselves become self-disciplined. So this style is thought to be most beneficial to the children. Disciplinarian rules are clear and the response behind them are explained, which was missing in the authoritarian reason will be explained well. If the parents are making any disciplinary rules, they will explain the reasons as well, but these reasons were not explained in the authoritarian parenting style. Communication is frequent and appropriate to the child's level of understanding. What they will communicate as per the understanding of that particular child. Authoritative parents are nurturing in the sense they will be nurturing their children or their child's character or behavior or personality. So they are regulating in a balanced way. The regulation is balanced. Okay, so they are doing the regulation in a balanced way. Expectations and goals are high but stated clearly. They will expect, but it is not that they will be imposing these with their will harshly, but still they will be saying, okay, the parents will say, okay, we need this particular performance from you, but we will support you as well to achieve that performance. Okay, so that is why this is considered as the most beneficial parenting style. So now we'll see the permissive parenting. Permissive or indulgent parents mostly let their children do what they want and offer limited guidance or direction. They are most likely friends than parents. So you can see with this image, the particular children or that girl or boy will be behaving like prince or princess. They know whatever they will be demanding, their parents will fulfill it. So this is the characteristic of that particular parenting style. What is the permissive? They will demand nothing. We'll see in this which quadrant it is falling. They will demand, they are non-demanding, and they are highly responsive. If the particular child asks for a thing, if they ask for a toy or a PlayStation or a bicycle or a bike, they will immediately bring that for that particular child, So these are the highly responsive parents. Okay, so their discipline style is the opposite of the strict. They have limited or no rules and mostly let their children figure problems out of their own. So these parents will not have too much discipline on their children. So they will accept whatever their child is doing. So these are the permissive parenting style. Communication is open. Both will be communicating with each other, child and parents. Okay, but these parents let their children decide for themselves rather than giving direction. They will not give directions. They will fulfill their needs, and still they will say whatever you want to do, you do that. If you want to pursue a particular career, you can follow that. If you want to opt for a particular subject in particular stream, you can do that. So the child will be free to take any decision. Parents in this category tend to be warm and nurturing. We have seen what is the meaning of the nurturing. Expectations are typically minimal or not set by these parents. So they will not expect. They will not ask you get us 90% marks in this class, or if you get less than 90% marks we will be happy, or if you get 90% we will be happy, otherwise we will be sad. That will not be the case with these parents. Even if the child gets 50% mark, they will be happy. If it gets 80% mark, they will be very happy. If so this is the permissive parenting style. So they will be demanding nothing from their child, and they will be fulfilling every wish of the child. Now we'll see what is the uninvolved. Uninvolved is obvious from the word itself that parents will not involve with their children. Uninvolved parents give children a lot of freedom and generally stay out of their way. Some parents may make a conscious decision to parent in this way, while others are less interested in parenting or unsure of what to do. So we can see the parent particular person is busy with their work, or they will not disturb their children in their the whatever they want to pursue, or the in the life. This is the very much nature of the Western family system. In the Western family system, children after attaining a particular age of 15 and 16, they are free to move out of the house. They can, if they want to pursue higher education, they can go for. If they want to do jobs, they can do that. They can live openly. They now parents will not interfere with their relations, with their friendships, or with their education, or with their career objectives. They will not be involving with their children in almost anything. Okay, so this is the uninvolved parenting. So no particular discipline style is utilized. An uninvolved parent lets a child mostly do what he wants, probably out of a lack of information or caring. So this is the reason why these children will not, why these parents will not be involving with their children. Either they don't have the information like how to guide their children, or else they'll be not caring much about their children. Okay, they are careless, or they'll say, okay, it's his or her life, let him do whatever he wants to do. Communication is limited. This group of parents offer limited nurturing, so there are few or no expectations. So they will give you nothing, and they will expect from you, they will not expect from you anything. So that is the uninvolved. Non-demanding, non-responsive. They will not respond to your needs, and they will not demand from you anything. So child is completely free to do anything. Okay, that is the role of uninvolved parenting style. So we have seen the 4 parenting styles. So with this we have completed the family system, and now in the next video we will see the role of society and education. Okay, I hope I am making things clear to you. So if you want, you can make notes as well, and if I get request to share these PPTs, I'll share these PPTs as well, so that you can take print out and you can add to your notes. So we'll see in the 8th lecture on the society and education. So thank you, keep learning, keep watching.